If you're like us, you love discovering habits and systems that make life better. That's why we're excited to share this opportunity. It's perfect for anyone trying to design a career that works for them, not against them. Intuit, the maker of TurboTax and QuickBooks, is expanding its world-class network of tax and bookkeeping experts. As an Intuit expert, you get to work virtually, select your hours, and be part of a mission-driven culture focused on helping customers prosper. Plus, you're supported by a team of experienced tax professionals who are there to help you succeed.
They also offer Intuit Academy, a free and self-paced training program through which you can advance your tax and bookkeeping career.
So if you're looking to design your future with a flexible and supportive tax career, visit intuit.com/expert to learn more or apply. That's intuit.com/expert. From fitness routines to mental resilience, navigating personal goals to tackling burnout, we all need a little help being human. That's what the Life Kit podcast from NPR is here to do. If you're looking to move with more intention or just need thoughtful guidance on living better, Life Kit delivers strategies to help you make meaningful, sustainable change. Life Kit offers real stories, relevant insights, and clear takeaways to help you meet those decision-making moments with confidence and clarity.
I find that so often when I listen to Life Kit, it answers some question that has been burning in my mind. Like recently, because we've been spending a lot of time outside, I was like, how do we avoid mosquito bites? And sure enough, there was an episode, How to Avoid Mosquito Bites, just in time. Get help tackling common issues like relationships, finances, parenting, and your career. Then walk away with a game plan you can implement right away. Life Kit isn't just another podcast about self-improvement. It's about understanding how to live a little better starting now. Listen now to the Life Kit podcast from NPR.
Lemonada.
Hello, we're here for More Happier, a podcast where we get happier. Join us for some weekend listening. It's a conversation with a bit of a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, Gretch.
Today we'll talk about a show that we're both watching and some of the challenges of having dogs. But first, something making us happier. Elizabeth, what is something that is making you happier?
Well, Gretch, first of all, I have to say thank you to so many listeners who wrote to tell me about this, and it is making me happier, which is that there is a new Barbie from Mattel who has type 1 diabetes.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
Yeah. So she comes with a continuous glucose monitor, which, I wear.
Yeah.
So it's a little monitor attached to your body. Hers is heart-shaped, which I get a kick out of. And she has an insulin pump around her waist or at her waist, which many people with type 1 diabetes have. And then also her outfit is blue polka dots, which I didn't know is kind of a symbol of type 1.
Oh.
So it makes me so happy to see a type 1 Barbie.
Well, type 1, it used to be called juvenile diabetes because it is a kind of diabetes that can be diagnosed in children. And so this is really nice if you think of, it's a toy. So this would be really nice if you were a child who had type 1 diabetes and you would see the monitor and the pump and
yes,
the polka dots.
Yes, I think it would be a great thing for a kid with type 1. And I will say I went to order one for myself. To that point, even I, as an adult woman, thought, I really want my own type 1 Barbie. And they were sold out everywhere.
Is that right?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, so I love that. And then while I was looking, I saw there are also Barbies in wheelchairs.
I knew that. I've seen those.
So I love this representation. It's great. And it also really just touched me that our listeners wanted to make sure I saw this because I don't think I would have seen it if people hadn't alerted me. Barbie is not normally on my radar, so it was really nice.
I hadn't heard about it either. So I have two questions for you, Elizabeth. First is, I think people would be curious, when you say it's attached to your body, explain how that works, because I think that makes it sound maybe a little bit more intimidating than it is in practice. I remember before you got it, it seemed like a really big deal, and then you were glad that you did it.
Yeah, so for the continuous glucose monitor, it's like a sensor that comes attached to sort of a shot. It's very small, like an inch by inch maybe or less. And I can just put it up against, mine goes on my arm. I can put it up against my arm and push the button and it's attached. And then it has a little adhesive around it to keep it attached.
Yeah.
But I can, wear it in the shower, swimming, etc. And it's pretty unobtrusive. And some people wear them on their stomach, which is even less visible, obviously, because it would be covered with a shirt. And I used to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really not a big deal. The one I have now is a Dexcom and it lasts for like 10 days. And then a pump is a little bit more of a thing. It's bigger, but again, still not obtrusive.
Well, and this is just so great, I think, for parents too, because it is a lot of monitoring. It's a lot to deal with a kid. And now these tools are just so much more advanced even than when you got it. But you were diagnosed at 27. So you were kind of unusual.
No, at 34.
Oh, 34. I've always been telling people it's 27. Oh, it was 34. Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay.
And what's great now, Gretchen, is that for my glucose monitor, I just have it on my phone. So I don't even need a separate receiver. I just literally have it on my phone, and my doctor can log in and see all my numbers. So it's extremely convenient.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Now, my second question is, what were you going to do with the Barbie?
Just put it in my office. I just felt like I should have it.
Keep it in the box, but just have it there. Yeah, I can see that. That's fun.
It just is something, it was so surprising that it existed that I just felt like, okay, I should have this. Now, I will say I don't need it.
Right.
But I thought, oh, that'd be fun to have. But I was happy to see that it would sold out. That made me happy.
Good team spirit, type 1.
So anyway, type 1 Barbie, who knew?
Yes.
All right, Gretch, what's making you happier?
Okay, so one of the things that was on my 25 for 25 list is I want to work outside my office. The library near my apartment, the New York Society Library, I love, love, love to work there. At our lake house, we have a porch that has a table where I can sit and everything that I love, love, love to do. One of my favorite things is to work outside on a porch. And my very favorite way to work outside on a porch is to have it raining, but be on a deep porch so that you can work outside in the rain.
Yes.
For some reason, I just find this completely magical. But here's the thing, and I've talked about this so many times, is now I have 3 monitors at my desk in my office. And the way that I work, this is hugely helpful. Some people, and I thought this before I got 3 monitors, were like, oh, it'll just distract you. But in fact, for me, it's like I'll have a notes document and then my actual working draft. And then I can be looking up things on the internet, or I can have my calendar up and my emails up so I can be going back and forth. I just find that it's incredibly helpful to the point where just using my laptop makes me feel cramped in my mind. And so I was never wanting to work outside my office. And I really didn't like working when I traveled because I just felt like my mind was boxed in. So I had this external monitor, but it was really, really finicky. And so I would always be like, oh gosh, okay, fine. And then it just stopped working altogether. But now I have a new external monitor that is by ViewSonic, if anybody wants this. And it's very easy. The other one was really hard to attach. This one, I just attach it. And now I have started working outside my office. I have gone to the library, not as many times as I would want to, but I have gone more. And I have worked outside by the lake in the rain, which I love.
That's awesome.
But it's a good example of a couple things. One is you can love to do something and yet forget to do it.
Yep.
I love doing this. Why don't I do it? I don't know. I forget to do it, or it's just how a little bit of inconvenience can have a completely disproportionate consequence on our actions, or making something even slightly more convenient, because it's just the little bit of packing up that I have to do to go out to be not working at my desk really puts me off. Even though it takes 5 minutes, I act like it takes 35 minutes. I have to save all my documents. Then I have to run this program that syncs my laptop to my desktop, because it's really important that my documents are always completely up to date. That is my worst nightmare, is that they would go out of sync and I would be working on them both simultaneously. So I have to do that, and then I have to stick it in my backpack. How long does this take? I should time it. You know, this thing, time it so you really know, instead of thinking, oh, it takes 10, 15 minutes, and it probably takes 90 seconds.
So, Gretch, here's my question. When you work outside at the lake, are there bugs?
There really aren't bugs, which is miraculous, at least so far. I wonder as weather conditions change over the months, but so far, so good.
That is amazing. Yeah, you need to do that. That is so great.
Yeah.
Sitting outside with your external monitor, working away. It's very romantic.
There's nothing more romantic than an external monitor.
That's right.
What's more picturesque than that?
For some people, it's true.
It's true. Well, it's making me happy.
All right, Gretch, coming up, we're going to talk about quality screen time, but first, this break. Gretch, being a TV writer, I know so many people who travel for work for weeks, sometimes months at a time when they're shooting on location. I have a lot of great memories from being in Vancouver for weeks on end, shooting a pilot. I love being in Vancouver. It's so gorgeous, very different from LA, really fun. But when TV people are away, their houses and apartments just sit there in LA with nobody using them. Well, this year, as we are all trying to work smarter and not harder, I know people who are hosting their space on Airbnb while they're out of town. Otherwise, the place is just sitting there empty. It honestly feels like a no-brainer way to get a little more spending cash.
I mean, who does not want a little extra income these days? Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It's not just an AI computer, it's a computer built for AI. That means it's built to help do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through
editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, running lots of apps without lag, creating live translations and captions, summarizing meeting notes, extending battery life, enhancing security, finding that file you were looking for, managing your schedule, meeting your deadlines, responding to Jim's long emails.
Leaving all the time in the world for more you time and for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Okay, Alyssa, you've been bringing up some quality screen time. What are you watching?
Okay, Gretch, so I just finished Lena Dunham's new show called Too Much. It is on Netflix.
Jamie and I have started that, but we haven't finished the season yet.
So just for anybody who doesn't remember, Lena Dunham created the show Girls on HBO, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. I am a Girls fan. And now Lena Dunham, who's, a lightning rod figure, some people love her, some people do not. I happen to love her, is living in London. She moved there years ago, and she met a musician and got married. And this show is loosely based, very loosely, I'm sure, on her experience.
It's really good. But it's the main character, too. That actor is so great.
Yeah, so it stars Megan Stalter, who is also in Hacks. I want to mention Hacks is on HBO. It's about a stand-up comedian who's sort of a Joan Rivers type, let's say. And she is a standout on Hacks, which I guess everyone is a standout on Hacks. It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
So she stars in Too Much, and she is just wonderful. And I should mention, by the way, Gretch, that the show actually is co-created by Lena Dunham and her husband, which is interesting.
That's interesting. Well, and also people don't know the character that Megan Stalter plays in Hacks. She's the loudmouth, incompetent assistant to the agent who then has her own arc. But she's just this hilarious. You're always happy when she appears in a scene because she is just very, very funny and kind of over the top in Hacks, and very, very good in Too Much as well. She's great.
Yes, I definitely think that the cast really makes this show. There's a lot of it is about the romance between the main character and the guy she meets in London, who's played by Will Sharp, and he's great too. I really love the parts where she's out just in London, like at work or at a dinner party or at a wedding, just because it's really fun to see that fish out of water. But the romance is nice too.
Yeah, somebody said to me that it was like Emily in Paris, only darker.
I think that's a good description.
Well, here's a question for you, though, Alyssa, just in your Hollywood brain. You say that the cast is great. How do you judge that? What are examples of good casting and bad casting? Because I always think I say that, but usually I just mean like that I like a character and feel like the actor is believable. I don't exactly know how a professional would judge that.
Well, I mean, I think it's all very subjective, of course, but A great cast are people who just really stand out and who you really just want to go back to. For instance, I saw Lena Dunham recently talking about casting Adam Driver in Girls. Adam
Yeah.
Driver played her love interest in Girls. And she was saying when he walked in the room, it just changed the whole energy of the room. And I think Megan Stalter probably has that characteristic as well. And then, of course, Adam Driver went on to star in Star Wars,
Yeah.
one of the biggest franchises in history. So I think there's just people who, what we call it, they pop.
Yeah.
We say they pop. And it just means that when they're on screen, you just can't look away. And they could have a small part. And if they do, they might just like totally take the scene, or they could be the star of the show and just shine. And that's why they're the star of a show. It's funny because there's this guy, David Boreanaz,
Yeah.
who starred in Buffy as Angel. And he is just a born TV star. I mean, any show he's on ends up having many seasons because people just love watching him on TV. So I don't know, it's interesting.
But don't you think a lot of that is the writing? That like, yeah, they did a great job, but they also have a great part? Are people so good that they could have a boring part and make it really, really good? Because I mean, like, a lot of times people have great lines.
For sure. The things come together,
Yeah.
and that's like the lightning in the bottle
Sure,
that can
yeah.
happen on an
Yeah.
amazing television show. But it is also true, and I have enough humility as a writer to say this, that a great actor, or let's say just an actor that people want to watch, can absolutely elevate so material.
Oh, interesting.
100%. And a boring actor, and I don't want to name anyone, can mute great material.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
both are incredibly important. But some people just, they just shine.
Well, it's funny. I don't even know what I mean by this exactly, but sometimes people look anachronistic and you're like, what are you talking about? But like, I remember in Game of Thrones, every once in a while, a character would come and I'm like, you just have a modern face. You just don't look like you belong in that world. I mean, I remember even the Night King, the way he moved. I'm like, you don't move like the Night King. You move like a guy.
Interesting.
And there were some people whose faces just didn't fit in the show. They're like, well, how can a person look anachronistic? We're all alive right now together.
Yes.
Why is somebody believable to me in that world and other people are not?
Well, it could be the quality of their wig.
Oh, really?
Their wig could have been off, and that made you think they'd looked
interesting. Like I picked up that something was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I can't, because I love a great quotation. I cannot resist adding this quotation that's haunted me ever since I read Lena Dunham's memoir, Not That Kind of Girl. Because she was writing about a period when she was younger, when she was working as a sales clerk at a fancy children's clothing store in New York City. And she was working with two of her friends, and it was like super, super fun. And she writes about why she stopped doing that. She wrote, "But ambition is a funny thing. It creeps in when you least expect it and keeps you moving, even when you think you want to stay put." I thought that was a great description of ambition.
I love that. That stuck with me too. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, an interesting detail about that store, Gretchen, it's owned by Jemima Kirk's mother, and Jemima Kirk was one of Lena Dunham's best friends from high school, and she played Jessa, one of the main characters on Girls.
Lena Dunham's ambition kept many people moving, it seemed like. That's
yes,
pretty
exactly right.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest of this season. I'm really enjoying it. And so is Jamie. We like to watch TV shows together.
Yes. So yeah, that's Lena Dunham's Too Much on Netflix, and the whole season is out, so you can watch it now. All right, Gretch, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
Okay, summer is well underway, and if you want a simple way to bring more intention and fun to the season before it slips away, I have made a free Design Your Summer worksheet to help you plan. You can fill it out with what you want to read, watch, learn, celebrate, whatever you want to do. You can get your free copy at happiercast.com/summer guide. It's never too late to really make sure that we make the most of what is left of the summer.
It's going so fast.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Gretch, coming up, there is something I've been meaning to ask you, but first, this break. If you're like us, you love discovering habits and systems that make life better. That's why we're excited to share this opportunity. It's perfect for anyone trying to design a career that works for them, not against them. Intuit, the maker of TurboTax and QuickBooks, is expanding its world-class network of tax and bookkeeping experts. As an Intuit expert, you get to work virtually, select your hours, and be part of a mission-driven culture focused on helping customers prosper. Plus, you're supported by a team of experienced tax professionals who are there to help you succeed.
They also offer Intuit Academy, a free and self-paced training program through which you can advance your tax and bookkeeping career.
So if you're looking to design your future with a flexible and supportive tax career, visit intuit.com/expert to learn more or apply. That's intuit.com/expert. Let's talk about the Defender 110. It is a vehicle built for the modern explorer. Gretch, I have a friend who's extremely adventurous and she loves her Defender 110. It's a vehicle that looks tough because it is tough. The Defender boasts an exterior design for optimum durability. It has a raised hood and sculpted grille that give the Defender 110 a modern edge.
Yeah, it has this 3D surround cameras with clear sight ground view that let you see underneath the vehicle and anticipate obstacles in rough terrain. Clear sight rear view offers an unobstructed rear view even when you can't see through the back window. Driver aid technologies make driving and parking simpler. Intuitive driver displays are customizable to your journey. Design your Defender 110 at LandRoverUSA.com. Visit LandRoverUSA.com to learn more about the Defender 110. Explore the Defender 110 at LandRoverUSA.com.
Okay, Gretch, we're back. And I have been meaning to ask you, how is Barnaby doing? I feel like Barnaby has been through a lot this summer. For anyone who doesn't know, Barnaby is your dog, your older dog. You have Taffy, your puppy, and then you have Barnaby, who I think is 10, right?
Yeah, he's 10. First of all, he's had this puppy come into his life where he's sort of like, oh gosh, he's kind to her, but I would say he's not enthusiastic. But what really happened, unfortunately, is that he hurt his leg and he needed something called a kind of surgery called TPLO, which stands for tibial plateau leveling osteotomy, which is super common apparently in dogs. I call it the torn piece of leg operation because that's what makes the most sense to me. But it's kind of like ACL surgery for people, but apparently it's less about sudden injury, the way we would think of somebody tearing their ACL, and more just gives out, kind of like a strand of yarn getting frayed. And so, he had to have a surgery. He has to have a cone, which he really doesn't like. He has to take medicine. Fortunately, now he's taking less medicine. At first, he was taking many, many pills. Now he's down to just a few. He does not like taking pills. He loves to walk around outside. He's very socially, like seeing other dogs, and he has done a very limited exercise while the leg is healing. Unfortunately, the medicine helps him to stay calm, and he's good at napping if he's just hanging around the apartment. But, it's hard. It's hard to be a dog. It's hard to, I'm sure the cone is it looks incredibly uncomfortable. And, I feel bad for him. Poor little guy.
I know you wish you could just make them understand, hey, if you wouldn't lick this, you wouldn't have to have this cone on. Don't you see? I know. Just listen to me and everything will be so much better. But unfortunately, they just don't do that.
No. And, and the thing with medicine, he really doesn't want to take the medicine. Thank you. So many listeners sent good suggestions about how to give medicine to a dog. So we're kind of working our way through those suggestions. He's very cunning. But you can't say to a dog, I know the pill doesn't taste good, but it'll make your leg feel better. Yeah. Or I'm sorry that you're in this scary place that you don't want to be. But in the end, this is going to take away your pain. He was very calm, during the whole thing. Some dogs shake. I remember Paddywhack. Oh my God, our dog growing up, she would shake. The minute you got her in the car, she had sixth sense about whether she was going someplace good or going someplace bad. She always knew. Yes, you just wish you could say, oh, you'll feel better. And it's just a couple weeks. But then again, I guess maybe to them, it's every day is just a new day. So they're not thinking, oh my gosh, I've got 5 more weeks of this. But of course, we feel incredibly fortunate that we were able to give the surgery to Barnaby because he wasn't whining or whimpering or anything, but he was definitely just not using the leg at all. He just kept it lifted all the time. So clearly it was really bothering him.
So how long will this recovery take?
So it's 2 weeks with a cone, and when he can only go for 5-minute walks 2 to 3 times a day. So that's very limited. It looks like everything's coming along fine. So then the cone will come off. So that'll be big. Oh, another thing he can't do is he's not allowed to jump on furniture.
Oh, that's
hard.
So
we have to keep all these doors closed, and we had to work out this whole system so that to put him in a place where he couldn't jump on the furniture. And then, of course, he does anyway behind our backs if we slip up even for a second. That's been hard. I mean, because, some people are like, they don't let the dogs jump up on the furniture. But I'm like, what is a dog for?
Yeah.
They're just living their lives alongside us on our furniture. So after 2 weeks, then he'll be able to go for a little bit longer walks. But I think he still can't run or jump or play with other dogs. And then it sort of gradually tapers down. I'm not 100% sure when we can stop giving him the medication. That might be a while. It hurts.
Yeah.
So it's helping him manage that and also helping him to stay calm so he stays off the leg. So by 8 weeks, assuming that everything's going well, and it looks like, just from my amateur eyes, like it's healing well. And they said he should be using it. And at first he wasn't really using it, but now he's definitely putting it down and putting his weight on it. So that's good.
Well, Gretchen, I have to say, having 2 corgis, they're notorious for, I think, having some kind of hip surgery when they get older. So I'm definitely watching this and seeing possible surgeries in my future for these dogs. So
yeah,
I will learn from you.
Yeah, the cone is just, they said there were 3 risks. One was they would lick the incision and it would get infected. 2 was that they would get too much exercise and wouldn't take the implant or whatever. And the 3 was that they didn't take their medication. Mm-hmm. And so the thing about the cone is it completely takes care of that first concern, but you just feel bad for them.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Barnaby's better soon.
Yes.
He'll be so much happier when he can use his leg.
That's true. That's true.
All right, Gretch, finally, what is our quotation this week?
This comes from the diary of Eugène Delacroix. He writes, "A man does not work only for the sake of producing, but to set a value on his time. We feel more satisfied with ourselves and with our day if we have stirred up our minds and made a good start or have finished a piece of work."
I know you feel that way.
I know you feel that way.
True.
So, Elizabeth, are you feeling happier?
Yes, I am feeling happier. Thank you to Chuck. And if you haven't subscribed to Lemonada Premium yet, now is the perfect time because guess what? You can listen completely ad-free. You just tap that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, or you can go to lemonadapremium.com to subscribe on any other app. That's lemonadapremium.com. Bye, Gretch.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Oh, Gretch, I forgot to say when we were talking about Too Much that Lena Dunham herself is on the show as the main character, Jessica's sister.
Yes.
And I love seeing her back on the screen. I love her role. And Andrew Rannells, who was also on Girls and who I absolutely adore, plays her husband. So that's really fun.
Well, I like the whole family of the main character. They're all very, very funny.
Yes. Rita Wilson plays their mother, and she's fantastic.
Oh, is that Rita Wilson?
Yes.
Who's married to Tom Hanks?
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay. I got to read the credits more.
I always look up the cast when I'm watching because I'm not great with faces, so I always look up so I know who's playing what.
Interesting. From the Onward Project.
If you're like us, you love discovering habits and systems that make life better. That's why we're excited to share this opportunity. It's perfect for anyone trying to design a career that works for them, not against them. Intuit, the maker of TurboTax and QuickBooks, is expanding its world-class network of tax and bookkeeping experts. As an Intuit expert, you get to work virtually, select your hours, and be part of a mission-driven culture focused on helping customers prosper. Plus, you're supported by a team of experienced tax professionals who are there to help you succeed.
They also offer Intuit Academy, a free and self-paced training program through which you can advance your tax and bookkeeping career.
So if you're looking to design your future with a flexible and supportive tax career, visit intuit.com/expert to learn more or apply. That's intuit.com/expert.